Okay, so get this you guys, I was organizing my sweater collection this morning, which takes forever because I have like 100 of them now, and I found this weird old bridle just sitting in the back of my closet. It's all gold and shiny with these strange symbols carved into the leather, and I have absolutely no idea where it came from. Like, did someone break into my room just to leave mysterious horse equipment? Because that would be super weird even for Gravity Falls standards, and we literally turned into centaurs. So the bar for weird is pretty high.
A golden bridle with symbols? Mabel, that sounds like it could be from the old legends my grandmother used to tell me about. There were stories about enchanted equipment that could control or influence centaurs and other horse-like creatures, forcing them to obey whoever held the reins. If this is real and not just some costume jewelry someone left behind, we could be dealing with something seriously dangerous. We need to figure out where it came from and make sure nobody tries to use it on any of us, because I do not want to spend my afternoon being mind-controlled into doing someone else's homework or worse.
Oh great, another magical artifact that could ruin our lives, just what we needed this week. You know what? This is exactly the kind of thing that would end up in my family's vault because my parents collect dangerous magical objects like some people collect stamps. I should probably check our inventory records to see if this thing went missing from the Northwest Manor, because if it did, my parents are going to completely freak out. They've been super paranoid ever since that incident with the cursed mirror last month, and if they find out I was anywhere near stolen property, they'll ground me until I'm 30.
Wait. Your family just has a vault full of dangerous magical stuff? That's simultaneously the coolest and most terrifying thing I've heard all week. But okay, if this bridal thing is as dangerous as Candy says, we definitely need to figure out what to do with it before someone bad gets their hands on it. Maybe we should take it to Grunkle Fort? He knows about all the weird supernatural stuff in this town, and he's got those journals that probably explain exactly what this thing does. Plus, he's got that containment unit in the basement for dangerous artifacts, which seems like a way better place for it than my sweater drawer.
That is a good plan, but we should be very careful about who we tell about this discovery. If word gets out that there is an enchanted bridle floating around Gravity Falls, every person with bad intentions will come looking for it, and we will end up fighting off treasure hunters and dark magic users all week. I suggest we keep this between the three of us for now and maybe Dipper and Ford, since they are trustworthy and know how to handle supernatural emergencies. We should probably also research what these symbols mean before we hand it over, just so we know exactly what we are dealing with and can explain the danger level accurately.
Ugh, fine. I'll sneak into my dad's study tonight and look through the family records. He keeps everything documented in these old leather books that smell like mothballs and disappointment, but if this bridle came from our collection, there should be notes about its powers and history. I just need to make sure my parents don't catch me snooping around, because they've been extra suspicious lately about me associating with the wrong crowd, which apparently means you guys, even though you're literally the best friends I've ever had. Sometimes I think they preferred it when I was a terrible person with no real friends, because at least then I was maintaining the Northwest image, or whatever.
Oh, Pacifica, we love you too. And your parents are just gonna have to deal with the fact that you have actual friends now who care about you for who you are and not just your last name. But back to the bridal situation. I'm getting sort of worried about keeping this thing in my room even for another night. What if it activates in the middle of the night and tries to control me in my sleep? Could it do that? Because I really don't want to wake up tomorrow morning having trotted all the way to some villain's lair without realizing it. Maybe one of us should stay up and watch it tonight, like a magical artifact sleepover guard shift.
I volunteer to take the first watch if we are doing guard shifts, because I have been practicing staying awake for extended periods using meditation techniques I learned online. However, I think we might be overreacting slightly. Most enchanted objects require active intent to use, not just proximity to a potential target. Still, better safe than sorry, and a sleepover does sound fun even if we are technically guarding a potentially dangerous magical item. We could bring snacks and research materials and make a whole investigation party out of it. I will bring my laptop so we can search through online archives of magical artifacts and cross-reference the symbols.
A sleepover to guard a cursed bridle? Yeah, That sounds exactly like the kind of ridiculous thing that happens in our lives now. Fine, I'm in, but I'm bringing my silk pajamas and the good face masks because if I'm going to be staying up all night worrying about mind control, I'm at least going to have properly moisturized skin while doing it. I'll also bring copies of any information I can find in my dad's study, assuming I can actually get in there without triggering the new security system he installed. Seriously, you'd think we were guarding nuclear codes instead of old family heirlooms with the way he's locked everything down lately.
Perfect. This is going to be the most productive sleepover ever. We'll have snacks, we'll do research, we'll protect each other from potential magical mind control. It's like a regular sleepover but with higher stakes and more danger. I'll make my famous Mabel juice to keep us energized, and we can set up a blanket fort command center in my room. Oh, and we should probably tell the bear what's going on so he doesn't freak out if he hears us moving around all night. He's been super jumpy lately ever since that thing with the shadow creatures last week, and I don't want him bursting in thinking we're under attack when we're just having investigation time.
Your brother does tend to assume the worst in every situation, which is sometimes warranted given our track record, but other times is just his anxiety talking. Speaking of Dipper, has he noticed anything strange lately? Sometimes magical artifacts attract other supernatural phenomena, and if this bridle has been in your closet for a while, it might have been drawing attention without us realizing it. We should ask him if he has documented any unusual activity in his journal entries from the past few weeks. Maybe there is a pattern we have missed because we were not looking for it specifically.
Great, so now we're potentially dealing with not just a mind control bridle, but also whatever supernatural weirdness it might have attracted to Mabel's house. Why does everything in this town have to be so complicated? Back when I was just a regular mean girl, my biggest problem was making sure my hair looked perfect for school photos. Now I'm sneaking around my house stealing family records about cursed artifacts and planning magical investigation sleepovers. My life has gotten so weird, and the craziest part is that I actually wouldn't change it for anything because at least now I have real friends and actual adventures instead of just shallow popularity contests.
See? That's character growth right there. Old Pacifica would have just called her dad and let him handle everything without caring about whether it put anyone else in danger. New Pacifica is risking getting grounded to help protect everyone from potentially dangerous magic, and that's why we love you. Okay, so tonight we all meet at the Mystery Shack around 7, bring whatever information and supplies we need, and we figure out what this golden bridle is and what we're supposed to do with it. Tomorrow we can take it to Grunkle Ford with a full report, and hopefully he can lock it away somewhere safe where nobody can abuse its power.
Agreed. And if we discover that this bridle is too dangerous even for Ford's containment unit, we may need to consider more permanent solutions, like destroying it entirely or hiding it somewhere nobody will ever find it. I have been reading about magical artifact disposal methods, and apparently some objects are too corrupted to keep around even in the most secure locations. But that is a decision for later, after we have all the facts. For now, we focus on research and protection, and we stay together because we are stronger as a team than we are individually.
You know, a few months ago, if someone had told me I'd be spending my free time researching cursed artifacts with a former rival and her friend while trying to protect Gravity Falls from supernatural threats, I would have laughed in their face and then had my father file a restraining order. But here I am, actually excited about tonight's investigation sleepover, and genuinely worried about making sure this bridle doesn't fall into the wrong hands. I guess being a centaur has changed more than just my physical appearance, it's changed my whole perspective on what matters. Friends matter, truth matters. Protecting people matters more than protecting my family's reputation.
Okay, I'm getting emotional now, and we haven't even started the actual investigation yet. Group hug before we all go prepare? Actually, wait. Group hug after we very carefully put this golden bridle in a box and cover it with a blanket so it's not just sitting out in the open radiating weird vibes. Safety first, emotions second, but definitely both because that's what makes us such a great team. Tonight is going to be intense, but at least we're going into it together, and that makes everything less scary. Well, maybe not less scary, but at least we won't be scared alone.
I'm bringing 3 different notebooks, 2 laptops, and every reference book about magical artifacts I could find at the library. If there is information to be discovered about this bridle, we will discover it. Also, I'm bringing the large bag of gummy bears from my emergency snack stash, because investigation work requires proper fuel, and sugar helps with sustained concentration even if that is not technically what the health textbooks say. We are going to solve this mystery and make sure everyone stays safe, because that is what we do now. We are the protectors of Gravity Falls, even if nobody officially gave us that title.
The protectors of Gravity Falls, who also happen to be teenage unicorn centaurs. Yeah, that's going on my college applications under extracurricular activities if I can figure out how to word it so it doesn't sound completely insane. Anyway, I need to go home and start planning my stealth mission into my dad's study. Wish me luck, and if I don't show up tonight, it's because I got caught and my parents locked me in my room for the rest of the month. Actually, if that happens, you should probably stage a rescue mission, because knowing my parents, they might try to use that bridle themselves if they realize I was looking for information about it.
No way are we letting your parents lock you up or mess with dangerous magic. If you're not here by 7:30, we're coming to get you, and your parents can deal with the fact that their daughter has friends who actually care about her safety. But I'm sure you'll be fine. You're smart and sneaky when you need to be, and you've gotten really good at the whole acting innocent thing when your parents ask suspicious questions. Just grab what you need, get out clean, and we'll handle the rest together tonight. This is going to work out. I can feel it. Or maybe that's just the nervous energy from knowing there's a potentially dangerous magical object in my closet, but either way, we've got this.